My name is Tom Smiley. I'm the CEO of Mohonk Mountain House. I'm in the 5th generation of the family. And to my right is my Aunt Pril.
My name is Priscilla Smiley, usually called Pril. I grew up on the mountain. I got my first job at age 10 in the Mohonk print shop, setting type for the menus that were printed each day and other programs. And I was paid 25 cents an hour.
I grew up in northwest Montana on a small farm. My undergraduate degree is in industrial engineering, and so right out of school, actually while I was in school, I started working for tech companies in manufacturing engineering, and basically was planning to make a career in manufacturing. I started out as assistant chief engineer in 2003. Since then, I've worked about a half dozen positions leading up to CEO.
This is a particularly proud time in my long history at Mohonk because for the first time in my decades of being on the board of directors, finally my generation, the 4th generation, has turned over the reins to the 5th generation. Mohonk was a total universe for those prior generations, but they didn't have the outside perspective as much as our later generations. For instance, in 1964, the first year that the granary opened, I was working the carving station. But during the weekdays, I was commuting to New York City and working with the pioneers in electronic music at the Columbia-Princeton Electronic Music Center. The electronic music field had just started, and I was pretty much the only female that started at the very beginning. So I had a lot of pride in what was really a heady time in New York City. But I felt equal pride in being at the granary serving guests because it was part of the family, part of me, part of New Directions at Mohonk. So that was the prime example of me straddling both worlds.
2002, I was here, sitting on the lake porch, having a cup of tea, looking at Skytop, and it dawned on me that my great-great-grandfather could have sat in this same spot, had the same cup of tea, looked at the same view, and I realized that I wanted to make sure that my children and their children have the opportunity to have that same kind of an experience.